Good morning, everyone. Thank you for choosing us to join us this morning at Unique Spiritual Life Center. We really appreciate your presence. And so, I'll tell you what. By starting up and singing, Let the Spirit In. So this was kind of fast. You got a lot of words to say, okay? Give you a heads up there.
I think we're on. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. That's everyone and everybody combined. I'm Juanita, and I'm here to welcome each one of you in God's light and love. And we just spread that love around here and outside of here. And with that note, I'm going to hand this over to Sandy, our prayer partner.
Good morning. My name is Sandy. In case you didn't catch that the first time around, I'm going to light the Christ candle to remind us of Christ's light burning within each of us. And then if you'll join me in prayer. Let's start by taking a deep breath in. Let it out and just relax. Divine Spirit, we're so grateful to be here this morning. It's just so fun on Sunday morning to be able to know and be able to be here to share our love and our hope and our frustrations and our fears, and know that we're accepted and that maybe, just maybe, another person has the gift of hope to give. We're thankful for this beautiful weather. The sun will come through. It's up there somewhere. And we bless. We ask that we hear what we need to hear and give what we need to give. And for all these blessings, we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Well, I guess I'll just talk loud because I can't get this thing on. I'm Marilyn Holloway. I am your platform assistant today. And this is the daily word. Our word for today is let God, let go, let God. Let us affirm divine love, wisdom, and understanding expressed through me. If I feel unsure of the next step in any situation, I let go and let God. I don't walk away from difficulty or try to force resolutions. Instead, I release my tight mental grip on problems and open myself to solutions. I let go of my ego's desire for control and my need to bring about specific outcomes. I believe there are solutions and remedies beyond what my mind can conceive. I yield to possibility. I trust the indwelling divine presence, just as I would trust a mentor. Letting go and letting God means creating space for the dynamic, creative energy of spirit to inspire and surprise me. Divine love, wisdom, and understanding fuel my thoughts, express through my words, and guide me in all ways. In Psalm 86, verse 11, we read, "Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Give me an undivided heart to revere your name." Remember, friends, your word for today is let go, let God.
us to be able to guide you through a meditation today. So I would like you to all take a nice, beautiful, deep breath. I might. Maybe I should turn this way a little. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so take a nice breath. Focusing within, closing your eyes as you are ready. And we're going to move into a few nice deep clearing and cleansing breaths by breathing in through the nose. Filling the belly, allowing it to expand, filling the lungs and the throat, holding the breath to a count of 4. And then releasing by pushing the belly button into the spine. Allowing all air to release from the belly, lungs, and throat. And we're going to repeat this process, breathing in through the nose, filling the belly. Exhaling through the mouth. And then we'll return to normal breathing. And just watch as the air comes in and watch as you release. Trace it as it enters your nose. Trace it as it releases from your body. And now as you've returned to natural, normal breath, I want you to take your attention to the center of your chest, to your heart chakra. And I want you to allow yourself to feel gratitude for all you have and all you will have and all you have had. And then softly move your attention to your thoughts and notice the images that are generated from this feeling of gratitude. And then take another nice breath and come back to the heart center. And then I want you to drop down into your 3rd chakra, which is located just above your belly button. This is your solar plexus. It is located, as I said, just above your belly button. And I want you to notice that there's a beautiful light emanating here, and it is a beautiful yellow light. And this light is growing, and it's growing, and it's growing. And you're going to allow this light to travel down your stomach, down your hips, down into your legs, and down into your feet, right down into Mother Earth. And then I want you to notice that you are actually instantly connected and grounded into Mother Earth. And then I want you to take another nice deep breath, and I want you to notice that yellow light that you sent down is turning green. Beautiful grounding energy. Comes back to you full of love. This comes up the bottom of your feet and into your legs, your hips, and up into your abdomen. This light continues up your spine, up into your chest, and up into your throat. And as it continues up, you notice it coming out of the top of your head and going all the way up to source, up to God, up to universe. And then just breathe in this light. And then allow love to travel down this beautiful green light into the top of your head, into your 3rd eye, through your throat, through your chest, sitting quietly and lovingly in your heart center. Give yourself permission to feel the love that you are receiving, both from Mother Earth and from God. And now while you resonate with that energy, I will step aside.
Now's the time we pray for others. If there's someone on your heart or in your mind for whom you would have concern, gently say their name gently into this space. And let's not forget our own name. And for all these blessings given and prayers answered before they're asked, we say together, thank you, God. So it is.
Happy to join this chorus of the song.
Many of you already know our speaker for today, but I have the pleasure of meeting her today. And I gotta tell you, I'm excited about what she's gonna be saying. I understand Melissa is a psychic medium and that she has gone through her own dark paths to reach the place where she can now accept with joy and peace her talents and gifts and share them with us. I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say to us today. Please welcome Melissa.
I think I should grab some tissue. I might cry. I have been emotional all morning, and it's just been so interesting, and I don't think I have tissue in here. So if I cry and snot on myself,
have
I'm
some.
sorry. Yeah, do it. So this made me so happy when I saw that pop up on the screen just now, because that's kind of how I feel like I've lived my life for the most part. Even through the horrific things that have happened, I've always tried to push through them, because I think that we're here for a reason, and we're here with beautiful gifts to share. And then when we hide who we are, we're hiding those gifts that we came here to share with people. So if I could give you one piece today, if you could take away anything, it is to be who you are, to love yourself, and to know that you are here, you incarnated with a purpose. We're not here willy-nilly. I don't believe that. I've been shown that we absolutely have a plan. So you take whatever that message is today, hopefully, and you run with them, and you know how loved and supported you are, okay? Especially from up above and down below. Mother Earth is always with us as well. Okay, you guys, so I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. I've known that I was going to do this talk for a while now, but I also know that I react in the moment. So while I didn't plan this weeks out, months out, or days out, I did set up my computer yesterday for a little bit, and then I sat down a little bit this morning, and I wrote down a little timeline of some things that I would really like to touch on. And as I was getting ready to leave, a friend of mine out of the blue, I don't talk to her very often, she sent me this. And what's really funny is that most of my talk was going to be a little bit about trauma and a lot of things that we experience in our lives. So I want to read this because I was like, we're always getting messages from God, from the universe, from our guides, from our angels. We have this huge team and they're always sending us messages. And this was what they sent me through my friend this morning. When we heal trauma, we heal our nervous system. When we heal our nervous system, we heal our emotional body. When we heal our emotional body, we heal our intuitive energy body. When we heal our intuitive body, we restore our vibration completely. Once our vibration is restored, a new reality of profound peace, love, prosperity, joy, ease, goodness, and wholeness emerges. And this is so beautiful about my life story because I have seen some, I don't know if I can cuss here, I've seen some stuff, okay? And I'm not alone in that, and I know that. Okay, and hopefully through your stuff, you allow yourself to grow. So I want to share a little bit about my timeline because when I was asked to talk, I was asked to talk about how I discovered my abilities. And that was not an easy process. In fact, I spent 2 years with a therapist because I thought I was losing my mind. So I will say this, are you guys ready? We'll go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Iowa in a pretty conservative, very unhealthy upbringing. My parents were pretty typical, go to work every day, and they weren't really nurturing kind of parents, but I knew that they loved us, okay, in their own way. So from the time I was little, I would try to escape home life, and I did that really quickly, actually. I escaped at 15. So at the tender age of 15, I found myself married in a physically and emotionally abusive relationship. I had 2 children and a miscarriage by the time I was 19. Okay. By 20, I decided it was time to create more of a life for myself and my children, so I left. Okay. This wasn't an easy choice to make because through all that time, and especially because you're so young, and when you're so young and you're learning how horrible of a human you are because you're letting somebody beat you up, you start to believe all of those things they tell you also, that you're not worthy and that you'll be nothing. Okay. I have a little fighting spirit in me. I am Scorpio, so watch this. So I did move here to Washington on a bus with 2 toddlers.
Wow.
I know, that was a pleasant experience.
Wow.
Okay. I met and married my husband, Curtis, in such a short time. We dated less than a month, and we've been married for over 30 years. Okay. That cycle did not continue with him. A lot of times that happens with women and when they're in abusive relationships, and Curtis has never and would never lay a hand on me. Not saying he hasn't wanted to strangle me a few times, but he never has. Okay. Also, because I was pregnant so young, I had an 8th grade education when I moved out here with my children. Okay. And it was after I got married and my husband kept encouraging me to do more, to do better. He saw better for me than I saw for myself. And it's really beautiful that God puts in our lives people who see in us what we can't see, because they can help carry us in those times. And I'm not trying to put that off on other people, because we are our own responsibility, we truly are. But I feel very blessed that I had that, and I haven't always been able to share.
Made in America.
I don't want to go to school. I'm scared. So, I did go to college. I suppose I was in my mid-20s. I did get my GED, I guess, first, and then I went to college. And then I found my niche. My thing was in marketing. Okay. Along with that, I was also highly involved with horses. And I had joined the team. I was riding, traveling around the Pacific Northwest, performing on horseback at rodeos and events. And stuff started happening. So let's just say plot twist. Let's go this way. So I did. I think it was probably around 2008 when things really started to get intense for me, and I started to think that I was really losing my mind. I would be at work, and I worked at Rainier, I think I can say that. I worked for a fruit company here in Sela, or there in Sela. So, and I'd been there for a long time. I would go to work and I would start feeling things. I would start knowing things. I walked past a delivery driver, and I heard something really horrific at the time. It's like somebody was screaming in my face about what this person had done, and it was awful. And it scared me so bad that I ran to the bathroom. I was like, luckily I was in therapy at this time, because otherwise, so I had to tell my therapist I'm hearing things and seeing things. And bless her heart, I don't know that she's actually was open to this kind of a thing, but she really helped guide me and bring me in and away from the fears of everything that's happening. Okay. So with the stuff happening at work, there was also stuff happening at home. I was struggling to be around people. I started having incredible anxiety attacks. I had panic attacks. I spent the first, I would say, probably a good solid year at the doctor's office on a weekly basis, because I was like, I'm dying. I'm dying. Something's wrong with me and I'm dying. Along with working, I also gave writing lessons. I started to travel to teach people, so that's clinician. I was teaching people how to work with their horses and how to be safe, with my specialty being trailer loading, because I saw a lot of people do some really awful stuff to their horses, trying to shove them in that box. So I always knew there was a better way. And so that was something that's instilled in me too, is I always look for a better way, more. I can do this kind of thing, push through. Okay. Which I also think is why Spirit was like poke, 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 because they knew that I'm not going to sit there and just be, I mean, I might for a little while until I get annoyed with it. So they don't leave you alone until they get what they want. Okay. And I suspect a lot of you are getting messages all of the time. And what I have people come to me on a daily basis and say, I don't get any messages. I don't know anything. And actually, I think it was here in the basement a couple of years ago, I was doing a session for a client and she's like, Melissa, I didn't get anything. And her guides, which we all have, showed me a bird flying into her window. And so when I brought that up, she's like, oh yeah, that just happened yesterday. I was like, here's your sign. So we have them, but we have a habit of kind of tuning them out, okay? So, oh, all right. So coming home, giving writing lessons, giving clinics, evolving, changing. My life was going in a really wonderful direction. I was still scared, mortified. So it was almost like being bipolar. And I will tell you, I did medicate for quite some time because of everything that was going on in my life. I was on Wellbutrin, Paxil. There's a couple other ones that I was on. So I kept shifting and shifting. And I am happy to say I am no longer medicated. A lot of hard work goes into that. So I've always been intuitive. I've always known things. Okay. Seemingly, I was also empathic, picking up other people's feelings and emotions, but I didn't realize what that was. So when I would get around a group of people, and again, I suspect many of you are empathic as well, but when I would get around people, I would start feeling shifts and changes, and I would get sad for no reason, and I didn't understand what that was. And it actually took several years through my mediumship journey to understand that's your loved ones coming in too. They will come in. You might feel like, I have a weird headache out of the blue for no reason, and maybe you have a loved one who passed from a head injury. Okay, that happens all of the time. Okay. When I'm doing sessions, sometimes I might feel issues to the chest, and maybe they had a heart attack, or I might have issues to the hip. Okay, those are using your intuitive abilities, your empathic abilities, that feeling. Okay. Okay, and then I'd written down, it was especially fun when you don't realize it's other people's stuff. And so you think it's you, and again, you think you're going crazy. Okay, and being in and out of the doctor's office. So I fast forwarded a little bit. So I talked about putting myself in therapy, and that was around 2008-ish. And while I was in therapy, my son Derek decided it was time to leave this earth. And he chose to end his life. And that was November 6, 2010. His death killed me. It tore out my soul. I've never experienced anything like it. And I don't know that you can. It took a long time to move through that energy, and that is grief. And what I want people to also know is grief is not just the death of a loved one. It could be losing a job. It could be losing a friend. It could be moving. There are so many aspects of grief because we have to learn who are we now? Like I had to understand who am I without being his mom? The thing is, I'm still his mom. I'll always be his mom. Just now I am his mom and of a child in spirit. Okay, so when you do feel that grief, you have to feel it, you guys. If you hide from it, you're planting it. You're planting it, and it's going to grow, and it's going to show up in other aspects of your life. So as hard as it is to feel the pain, you have to feel the pain to get through the pain. Okay, give yourself time, no matter what it is you're going through, a loss of a relationship, a spouse, whatever that is, give yourself time to move through it and push into it. And that is the one thing mediumship has taught me more than anything, is to not run from my fears, because I was pretty good at it. I moved to Washington with 2 small children. So I've spent a lot of time running, and it was in that therapy where I learned to face it, where I learned to look at it. Okay. A lot of us think we have stark hidden stuff inside. At least I did. I was pretty sure that if I looked inside, I'd get stuck inside. And it did take me quite a while to move through that. Okay, meditation helps with that. So for you, if you don't meditate, I highly recommend you do. And for those who say they can't, yes, you can. You can. I believe in my heart, if you say you can't, you can't. But if you say you can. I've seen it. I've seen it so many times. Okay. All right, so with the death of my son, that really also opened me up. It was almost like being, this is gonna be gross, cut wide open, so to speak. All of my heart was out here. I was wounded, I was troubled, I was sad, I was devastated, I was angry. I pretty much didn't like anybody for a long time. And that's moving through part of that grief process as well. And I was mad at myself for not seeing it. I do want to impress upon you one thing Spirit has shown me is that it is never your responsibility when somebody does that, takes their life. I have a lot of people who come to me with children who have passed from suicide or a loved one who passed from suicide, and they hold so much guilt and so much shame and so much pain for it. But what I know to be true is that that was their choice. We couldn't have changed that, or we would have. I do not believe in coincidence. I've seen too much. I don't believe in coincidence. Things happen to help us. And even it's hard to believe that losing a child could help us, but I am a much better person now than I could have ever imagined. Would I take that back? In a heartbeat? No doubt. Yeah, I would, 100%. But I can't. And I know I can't. So what I do is I choose to be a better person every day and to do something better every single day. Okay. I think my turning point through everything was when I finally acknowledged Spirit, because for the longest time I tried to push it down and ignore it because I was scared. I thought it was a demon and I thought it was going to eat me. And I'm not kidding. I was sitting upstairs and something tapped on my window and I levitated down the hole. I don't think I touched a single stair. And today, having moved through a lot of my fears and actually having worked with Spirit who shows me how safe and loved we are, now if I hear it, I would be like, who's there? And I look, and that's where your strength and that's where your power is when you go, what is it? Instead of, which like I said, I spend a lot of time doing that. So, let's see. Oh, also, because when I actually acknowledged Spirit, it went away. When I was laying in bed, my husband and I were going to sleep, and I kept hearing, tell Dan to take the boat to Mardon. What? Tell Dan, and it kept playing, and it played, and it played in my head. And I was like, Chris, tell your dad to take the boat to Mardon. And he's like, what? I'm like, just do it. And he's like, all right. And it quit. The voices went away. I was like, are you kidding me? Is that friggin' simple? I was so terrified of these voices and these thoughts. And I do also want to add that your guides and angels, I am clairaudient, so that's how I hear most of my information. It comes on my right side, whereas my own thoughts will come on my left, and that's how I differentiate between me making shit up and Spirit giving me information. I'm sorry for cussing. When I realized it was that simple, I was like, all right, let's do this. I started just telling everybody. I mean, I don't do that anymore because it's kind of rude to go up to a complete stranger. Hey, guess what? And also because if you don't have the time to sit there and discuss with them what's going on, you can cause a lot of damage. I've had a lot of people who have had those attack readings come to me because a psychic or a medium told them, oh, you've got this green light in your energy, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I don't know that. Is that demonic? And then they're scared. Instead of explaining, your heart chakra is opening up. Move into that energy. So if you ever have something like that happen where somebody reaches you out of the blue and tells you, you put them on the spot, make them explain that to you so that it doesn't scare you. If they're going to do that, you put them on the spot. Okay. All right. Everybody's nodding. Yes. Because that's important to me. Okay. So I will say I quit my job December 23rd. I'm sorry, headline, December 31st, 2016. So I do this full time, and I've done this full time since. I was afraid to quit my job because I made a decent income, and that's hard to replace. And I did not have the clientele yet. And I was like, nope, can't do it. And Spirit kept helping me. Like, no, you really need to do this. And I was like, no, I don't, not yet. And so I was giving a riding lesson and I fell off my horse and tore my rotator. And so I could not move my arm from here to here. The only way I could move it was like this. Did I say that my job was mostly typing and working on a computer? So when they were wheeling me in for surgery, they discovered that I have a heart issue that prevents me from having surgery. So they unplugged me from the machines and they sent me over to the heart center. And so for that whole entire year, I could not go to work very much because I was in and out of doctor's offices. And then they discovered there was something going on. I had to go see a nephrologist. And then I had to go do this. And I was scheduled to have an ablation. And the morning of my surgery, they canceled it because they didn't have the right staff. I was pretty angry at everybody at that stage. It was like, this is the silliest thing, but it was Spirit's kind of way of poking me, saying, this is what we need to do. And so I did take it and I ran with it. My poor husband was like, you're doing what? I was like, "It's my job." And I did. And let's just say I hit the ground running. And my life has changed in so many ways since then. So I will say, if you're getting those little nudges and those little pokes, like if you hit every single red light on your way to work, if you keep stumbling every day on your way to work, or no matter what that is in your life, that's spirit. That's spirit trying to send you a message and tell you it's time for a change. Okay? Trust them, because then you'll get the bump. And that's unpleasant. But it's not to hurt you. So let me make that very clear. Spirit does not hurt you. They will not, they're not out here to cause you harm. That was the only way they could get my attention, and it worked. So also since then, I have been blessed to work with law enforcement on missing persons and cold cases. I did get to write a story. I wrote the story of my son's passing for a book called Last Breath. I did that last year. Let's see. I got invited down to Oregon to do an episode. The show is called Trending Fear, and what they wanted me to do is come down to Oregon and read an object for them, and that's called psychometry. Okay, so I went down and did that. It was a lot of fun, and I want to do that again. Let's see. I think I want to kind of sum it up by saying how it wasn't an easy process to own all of me, even the parts of me that I'm not so fond of, but it's a necessary thing for us to look at ourselves and to evaluate ourselves as much as we can. Okay. I did join support groups for mediumship, and that is also another thing that saved me, because then I realized, oh, it's not just me, I'm not just crazy. And then I learned also about being in control, which I already kind of touched on with once I finally acknowledged what was happening. And then I wanted to finish. I'm going to read this, okay? I found my strength through looking at the tragedies of my own life. And I also found that mediumship, talking to dead people, wasn't scary at all. In fact, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. Through many life experiences, I have learned that no matter how many times you slip and fall, I'm going to cuss, get your ass up. No matter how many times. You have work to do and you have a life to live, and you are here for a reason. Yes, grief sucks, pain sucks, and sometimes life sucks. But you know what? Living is beautiful. Without the difficult times, we wouldn't understand the beautiful blessings that we have. Okay? I tell my clients, grab onto those moments of bliss and soak them up, because when times feel a little tougher, you can dig into that savings account. So when you're feeling at your best and you're having the most beautiful experiences, sit with those energies and let them resonate throughout your body and hold on to them. That is a deposit. You're making a deposit. And then when you're not having such good times, you can dip into that. Remember when I felt amazing? I had a moment in Idaho where I got to carry the American flag, and that was huge. I was like, I want to carry it, because on our team, only one person got to do it. So in Idaho at this rodeo, I got to carry the American flag, and I remember sitting there looking at the arena, 4,000 or 5,000 people in the, and I was like, I get to do this, and I just soaked it up. And to this day, I still will bank that. I will still dig into that feeling, especially when I'm like, I want to throat punch somebody. Don't do that. It's not okay. Thank you guys so much for giving me an opportunity to visit with you today. I appreciate you so much.
That was awesome, thank you.
Now it's time for our announcements. So weekly events, we still have the weekly Zoom meditations. There's one Tuesday evenings with Marilyn Freed at 7 p.m. and one with Warren on Wednesday mornings at 10. So join if you can. Wednesday morning book study, we are still reading Be Here Now. We have, I think, 2 or 3 more weeks to go, and then we'll be starting our new book, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn. A big announcement is our annual membership meeting, Harvest Dinner / silent auction, Sunday, October 17th at 12:30. And I'm going to read this because it's kind of fun. With fall brings our annual meeting, which includes a harvest dinner and silent auction. Tracy Arestigui, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Tracy, is our coordinator of the silent auction this year. We are looking for donations in all price ranges. If you have an item to donate, there is a sign-up sheet in the back, or you can call Tracy and that number's right there. And the sign-up sheet is up there for the harvest dinner. You can sign up to bring soup, bread, salad, or desserts. And also, please RSVP for the dinner. Our October guest speakers are Josie Holman, Marilyn Freed, and Music Sunday, and we have another Sunday yet to be announced. And speaker feedback forms, it's kind of nice if you will fill in the form so we know your response to our speakers. And I say that as a member of the speaker team because we base who we choose for speakers on your responses. And the mask mandate, there is a mask mandate, and we do request you to wear masks, but we do respect the fact that there are some people who cannot wear masks for health reasons. And then the big thing here is leadership training is coming up on October 23rd, and I'm going to pass this over to Cheryl Mays.
Woohoo! You may not think that you are a leader, or you may not want to be a leader, but many of you are. And this is an opportunity for us to come together and really look at how can we work together to get this message of oneness, of love out into our world. How can we be an effective spiritual community? And I think part of what we will do is we will look at what it takes to really respect and work with each other. What it means to forgive and move on and really communicate with each other. Sometimes we are pretty sure we're enlightened, you know? But enlightenment is not the same as spiritual maturity. And that's part of what we'll be doing. It'll be very interactive, it'll be fun, and I hope that whether you are presently or going to be elected as a leader, that you, in whatever your leadership capacity is, will come and join us that day. It'll be a Saturday from 9 until 2:30. We'll have a simple lunch along the way. And I just invite all of you who feel led to come and participate.
When is that, Cheryl?
That will be October the 23rd, Saturday.
Is there a cost?
No. You can contribute if you want. This is what I did after I retired from here. I went and did these kinds of workshops with other churches, communities. And I don't have the answers to give you. The answers are in the room. And so we find those together. So it's Saturday, October 23rd. So after our wonderful harvest celebration the next Saturday. Thank you.
Cheryl, no, I'm looking forward to that. And I just want to end here with this quote. I love this quote at the end. I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane. Amen. And if you'll join me for our affirmations. Together, prosperity affirmation. I live expectantly, gratefully, abundantly. Our vision. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. And our mission. We empower individuals to collectively transform the world.
I'm not Juanita. She's a little shorter than I am. She had to leave, so I stepped in to take her place. This is the time that we share our abundances. So who has some abundance that they would like to share?
Hi, everybody. I just want to share that next Saturday, my husband and I are going to Tri-Cities to look at a group home for my daughter, the potential group home. And I just ask for wisdom, discernment, and just positive prayers as we do that. And I also want to just put a plug in for that leadership conference. You guys put your money where your mouth is. If we're leaders and we're spiritual beings, learning in a group experience is the most powerful thing we can do to come together and grow our community and our church. So come, everybody, put an investment into it. Thank you.
Who else?
Well, I'd like to first just say that I really appreciate, Melissa, your talk this morning. It was awesome. And I'll be saying more about that in January. I get to speak here. Meantime, this is all about abundance, of course. In the meantime, I get to sign up for the leadership class that my wife and everybody else is going to be doing. So I feel greatly blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson.
Anybody? So you all by now know that if nobody says anything, I mean, we all have things to be abundant about and feel blessed about. And I also want to say thank you for being here today and giving us that speech, just telling us your story. And this may be the last Sunday that I'm here for a while. I am moving to South Dakota to be with my daughter and grandkids there. And the next 2 weekends I'll be out of town. However, a funny thing happened Friday. I had to put my faithful companion Riley with transitioned to her next stage. And I had been looking for apartments in South Dakota that would accommodate her. She's in her older stages of life, or was, and the apartment that I got approved for was a third floor building with no elevator, and I didn't know how I was going to do that. And then, as it turned out, that choice was made. And that afternoon, I came home and got a phone call and from another complex that I had talked to, it's all ground floor, and they have an opening, and I can put an application. And I told a friend, I said, it's so funny because had that call been received a couple of weeks earlier, I would have probably made a different decision with my dog. And she said, well, it's probably the way it was supposed to be because it was her time to go. So anyway, thank you. And I just feel really blessed by all of you guys. Thank you.
We bless your little four-legged friend on his way.
I would like to take an opportunity. I would be remiss if I didn't express my appreciation for my daughter, who's helped me all summer, and she's going to be leaving me. She follows the sun, so she's going to Tucson, and I'm going to go part way with her. But she's been a blessing and has given me great help and great comfort, and I'm so thankful.
Anybody else? Don't leave me hanging out here.
Here's one for Sean.
Right here, you.
You know, Rick and I did the first shift at the fair yesterday, and I gotta tell you, it was really fun. The majority of the time we people watched and we visited. And we didn't have any lost kids, thank God. Stayed with their parent. But if you haven't been out to the fair yet, we really did have a good time. So I encourage y'all to go.
Last chance. Set your hand up or you're just holding the camera.
Both, actually. Okay, I hope Sandy's ears are recovering. I talked about this. We went up to our favorite camping spot this past week, and we set up our shelter, and it started raining cats and dogs right after we got the tarp on top. And so the next day, we're sitting within it, and we kept hearing things that sound like gunshots hitting the top of the tarp. And a squirrel was up there throwing pine cones down. I did it over and over and over again, over a couple of days, and so you don't know if you're going to get hit with a pine cone when you walked out or not. But all the beauty, and we were actually able to have campfire, and so that's the first time since before the 4th of July.
Wow.
And you know, all the birds and the animals, the squirrels, and seeing the animals driving up there. We got the suicide squirrels who are trying to get across the road before you get there, and deer and quail. I saw half a dozen or more turkeys. And it just reminds you just how wonderful our world is. And that's my abundance.
It's proof positive that God loves ugly things because wild turkeys are the ugliest birds. Anybody else? Will the ushers come forward, please? Will you join me in our blessing? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. If you'll join me in blessing our tithes and offerings. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, thank you for the flow of giving and receiving that is part of our wondrous universe. Daily we receive all that is needed and more from the infinite abundance around us. We pray blessings on these offerings given with gratitude and joy. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Now, if you'll stand for the prayer of protection. We're gonna bless each other. We're gonna bless the children around here. Let's bless the children. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. Now, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is. Circle up and join hands, or not, whatever your choice is.
warned you about that. The peace songs there and on the screen. And I just wait for the people at home. Thank you, participants at home. I hope you enjoyed everything.